Have you ever sat and thought about how many serial killers haven't been caught and may still be on the loose? Or if anyone you know may be a serial killer? It's believed that at any one time there are 25 to 50 active serial killers in the US alone, so imagine how many there are around the world. There may be one living next to you or even in the same house as you. Today we're going to have a look at 5 serial killers still on the loose. Before we get into the video, if you enjoy strange, creepy and scary true stories, then you've come to the right channel. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more weekly videos just like this. On the 2nd of February 2009, a woman was walking her dog on the hot, dusty West Mesa desert where she made a gruesome discovery. She had found a human bone. Shaken and scared, the woman called the police. Once the police arrived, they discovered the remains of 11 women and girls and a fetus buried in the New Mexico desert. From 2001 to 2005, an unknown person was preying on sex workers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, killing their victims and burying them. Police suspect all the bodies were buried by the same person and is the work of a serial killer becoming known as the West Mesa Bone Collector. In 2010, police put up $100,000 as a reward for any information leading to an arrest and conviction in the murders, but no one has come forward with any information. Police have had a number of suspects but have never named any of them. The person responsible for these murders has never been identified and no one charged, meaning whoever this is still on the loose, potentially still killing and burying their victims. Between 1998 and 2000 in Belize City, someone abducted, raped and viciously murdered 5 girls all under the age of 16. This person really had no limits. One of their victims was stabbed 40 times with one of her arms almost cut off and her face cut open. Another young girl was stabbed, her arm severed, and there were signs she had been run over by a car. The local community was understandably shaken and scared for their children, putting pressure on the police to figure out who was committing these disgusting murders. The police even issued a curfew for all underage children, but this made little difference. Before being murdered, all girls were given drugs and alcohol, then tortured. The unknown person using the same weapon to torture the 5 girls, and due to the precision of the cuts, they are thought to have a medical background. Police suspected an American serial killer, Lonnie David Franklin Jr., as he had links to the area by marriage, one of the victim's aunts seeing him in the area at the time, and that the van he used in his murders in America was found in Belize, but he was never charged. Franklin died in prison in 2020. So was it Lonnie, or is the killer still on the loose somewhere in Belize? From 1970 to the present day, people have been vanishing and being murdered along Highway 16 between Prince George and Prince Rupert, British Columbia, Canada, a large remote area with carnivorous scavengers looking for an easy meal. It's not sure how many people have gone missing here, but most believe it to be over 40, probably more. Over the years, some of the murders on Highway 16 have been solved, and people in the list of convicted include 3 serial killers operating in the area, but a worryingly number of cases are still unsolved. The area lacks public transport, so those who can't afford to drive have to hitchhike to get from place to place. The high number of people hitchhiking along Highway 16 and its remoteness gives the window of opportunity for any serial killer to be active in the area with a low chance of being caught. There are so many missing person and murder cases along Highway 16 that the police have said they will probably never solve all of the cases. So could there be a 4th Highway 16 serial killer on the loose? Along the Colonial Parkway, Virginia, 3 couples were murdered and 1 couple went missing in 1986 to 1989. All of the couple's cars were found abandoned with doors open and things left in them, making it look like they left suddenly. The third couple that went missing have never been found but are presumed to be dead. The first, second and fourth couple's bodies were located sometimes years after they went missing with rope burn marks. Some were shot, others were strangled and their throats cut. One of the victims, Kathleen Thomas, struggled and fought back as a clump of hair was found in her hand. The Colonial Parkway murders have been covered extensively over the years by many TV documentaries and news outlets trying to figure out who the suspect may be, but to this day no one has been charged, which means somewhere in Virginia a serial killer may be waiting for their next victim. October 23rd, 1978, homeless individuals in LA's Skid Row started turning up dead after being stabbed multiple times and being dumped in alleys of various streets. LA's Skid Row is a neighbourhood notorious for housing a huge number of homeless individuals, and unfortunately an unknown individual chose them as his victims, altogether killing 12 people. 3 friends of one of the victims said that an unknown man came and spoke to them for several minutes, introducing himself as Luther. He then stabbed and killed homeless man David Jones before leaving. 3 months later, the words, "My name is Luther, I kill winos, I put them out of their misery," appeared in a bus station. The police suspected several people, but ended up charging Bobby Joe Maxwell with the murders. Bobby being convicted in 1984 of 2 of the murders, Bobby pleaded not guilty, and over the next 30 years he filed appeals to try and overturn the conviction, all being unsuccessful. As a result of a former police officer and witness on the case being found to be unreliable due to his testimony in other cases being false, the appellate court overturned Bobby's conviction and ordered a retrial in 2010. In 2017, Bobby suffered a heart attack resulting in him going into a coma. Then in 2018, all charges were dropped against Bobby, with his prison sentence and jail time being ruled as a miscarriage of justice. Bobby dying in 2019, never coming out of his coma. This means that the murders are now again unsolved, and that the real Skid Row stabber is still lurking LA, maybe waiting for the right time to strike again. So just remember before you go to sleep tonight to lock all your doors and windows, as you never know who is lurking in the shadows. We will cover all of these cases in detail with videos on our channel in the future, so make sure you subscribe if you are interested in any of these cases.